What is up guys, this is Tills, and today bringing you a really quick video on my top tips for going out and raiding people in Rust. So, pretty much, basically, you're obviously going to need some tools to do that raiding match, which is the bean cans and the satchel charges. But these are sort of my top tips that I've picked up from doing the raids recently, which I like to think are pretty damn good. So, okay then guys, so tip number one is going to be, after you've got yourself your nice little base set up, however big, whatever size you need, basically what you will have been doing to be able to get the enough metal frags for your two doors is you're going to have been having your furnace with this sort of setup. So you'll have wood, metal frags, 4 slots of ore. What I'm saying now is, as quickly as you can, get that changed to the setup whereby you're going to be having a slot for charcoal. What this does is it basically cuts you down so much time and inconvenience. When you get to a high enough level to be able to make the bean can grenades, you're going to have a stash of charcoal ready to go for when you're ready to raid. Alright then, so my second tip is going to be know your limits. So basically, in a base like this with a 2x2, or on any base, any self-respecting Rust player is going to have an airlock. So by that, obviously, one door into the base and then another door inside. So what that's going to mean is you're going to need to bring enough satchel charges or bean cans to be able to get through 2 doors. That's what I like to have in my head. At least 2 doors to get anywhere in a base. Most of the time, a lot more. Following on from that, guys, always know how many satchel charges it is to get through each structure. So primarily you're going to be using these to get through doors. You can still use them to get through the walls, stone, metal, wood, whatever. But the doors are primarily your key go-to sort of area. Now, 3 satchel charges on this metal door has done 210 damage. Now, I don't want to waste another satchel charge, so it's always good to bring with you and keep spare a few extra bean can grenades. This is just going to help you raid a lot more efficiently. Okay, so 3 satchel charges and 2 bean can grenades has brought it down to 11 health. Now, the best thing to do now is just throw another bean can on. What this does is, while it takes a little bit more time, it saves you a bean can grenade, which is a nice little amount of gunpowder. Okay guys, so a nice thing to know, if you do by chance run out of bean cans mid-raid, you can actually use bone clubs as a quite relatively effective raiding tool, if that's what you could call it. I think it's around about, as you can see as we're breaking through this bone club, it's less than a whole bone club of health. So say I've used 3 satchel charges and 2 bean can grenades, and say you've not got that last bean can left, but a shit ton of bone fragments sat around your base which you don't know what to do with, use them for this. I mean, you've got to kind of have a lot of time on your hands, let's be fucking honest. Okay, so something that I've been doing recently on my raids is always bring with you a sleeping bag. Now you're probably thinking, oh, this is obviously just in case you die, yada yada yada, like you see on all the big raids and all the big videos. But basically what I've been using this sleeping bag for is basically that too, yeah, fine. But say I'm on a run, I'm going to the base, I'm going to raid. But then I see in the corner of my eye somebody over there that I might have to have a fight with, and I don't want to risk losing my bean cans and whatever else. Basically, drop yourself the sleeping bag in a nice secluded spot, along with, if we can get the sleeping bag down, along with a nice little small stash. So basically what you can do is you can hide away your explosive rounds or charges in there and make sure that everything's safe while you go to your fight. Just as a point to you guys, if you're going to go and raid any base really, but if you're going to raid a base of more substantive size, a bigger one, basically it's really helpful to you to set yourself up an FOB, a forward operating base. Now what this does is, if you're going to go and raid a base pretty close by, say over there somewhere, you've got a place to store your stuff, drop your loot, and then keep yourself a nice safe bag to respawn back at in case you die. It's also really good to have a furnace in here as well, just in case you get a little bit more sulfur from somewhere, you need to cook up really quickly just to get through a last little door, get another bean can going. Really helpful to have one of those in here too. Just as a point guys, if you do go raiding, if you do get access to the tool cabinet in the base that you're raiding, if you can get access to that and just squeeze it on here, basically what you should always bring with you is a door and a code lock. Basically what that means is you could just lock yourself into the raiding base while you really go through the stuff, the loots, and make sure that you're nice and safe as you're sort of dealing it all around. It also means it keeps the loot safe while you're transporting between this base that you're raiding and your forward operating base which is nearby. A final point guys, when going raiding, make sure that you throw everything you've got at it. Make sure that you bring the guns that you have, any crossbows, any guns that you've managed to pick up along your way, any armor that you've managed to gauge. Make sure you bring medical supplies, and make sure most of all that you're ready for a fight, because you're going to get counter-raided most of the time. Now you do not want to lose your satchel charges. That is a big thing. I know for clans and things you're probably thinking, oh, I can just make 1,000,000 of those. For solo players, they are like gold dust. They really are. You kind of just want to be able to keep them all safe, so make sure you don't waste them. make sure that you get them all on the door or on the wall that you're aiming for, and make sure that you're ready to protect yourself come any fights that may potentially come out of the woodwork. Alright guys, so that's the end of the video. Thank you so much for watching. I understand a lot of you probably know how to raid, and a lot of you know these sort of tips, and you've been using them along the way. But these are kind of like noob guides, if you will, so just making sure that players know how and when to raid. So thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, if you could drop me a comment, tell me what you think, tell me your best ways of raiding, drop me a like, that's awesome, really helps me out. And most of all, if you could hit that subscribe button, that's awesome too. So thank you very much. Have a really good day.